Hi, I'm May Rose, and I am Arthur's mother. Arthur is 9 years old and has just headed into 4th grade. When I brought my son to come to the training, my biggest goal was for him to be able to read. He had a lot of words that he could read, certainly even complicated words, and yet when we tried to put it all together so that he could sit down and just enjoy a book, it seemed like it was impossible. There was a lot of tears and a lot of frustration, and really on his part, a lot of questioning why this was so hard and why he couldn't do it. And we realized he needed help to be able to overcome this. So some friends had recommended doing tutoring, and one of the things that came to our mind really quickly, my husband and myself, is that tutoring was not going to be the answer. He had all of the information on board. He knew what he wanted to accomplish. He knew what was on the page in front of him, and he couldn't synthesize that information. He couldn't process it. And that's when we found LearningRx, something that was more focused on processing speed, on his executive functioning, and his ability to use his mind the way he wanted to use it. Not only can he read now, but he can also write his thoughts and ideas down in a really clear and comprehensive manner. So for him now, I mean, massive doors are open. One of the biggest changes is his ability to plan. So I was really excited about reading and writing, and that's what I expected to see changes in, but actually, his ability to plan his day, to plan his activities, to decide, today I want to build a fort. And to build a fort, I'm going to need X, Y, and Z. That's huge.
It felt like an overnight change to me, being someone, from the outside looking in, not being part of his training, that one day he was really struggling with reading. He was reading very slowly, struggling with sounding out all of the words, and then it felt like overnight, in my mind, he suddenly changed and became this fast reader, this fast processor. He could read tricky words that had been so hard for him before and just keep it moving so quickly. Probably a couple months ago, we went to his one of his dance performances, and he dances ballet and jazz and all kinds of things. And he can keep up with the moves a lot faster than he used to. He can follow the moves, he can recall the moves, whereas before he used to have to look at all the other kids on stage to kind of remember, and he'd sort of look at them and move after they moved and let them guide him. And this was the first time we all saw him kind of guiding the other kids on stage. He knew what to do, he remembered the moves, he had them on beat, and he was just going. He didn't have to look at all of his friends for cues.
I was so encouraged by watching his, these were things that were hurdles for him at one point, but it was painless. It was painless for him to move through this. And it encouraged me to come, so I'm coming now too.
Mm-hmm. You inspired your grandma to come, and it's awesome.
The green is where your brain was when you came in, and the purple is where your brain was today. Wow. Amazing, right? So I'll tell you what they mean. When you came in, you had the memory of about a 7.5-year-old. Now you have the memory of a 13.5-year-old.
Wow.
And I'm 29. Awesome.
LearningRx is gymnastics for your brain.